John Durham, certainly no Bull Durham, 4.5 years. This loser, put in place as special counsel by the former Attorney General Bill Barr, another Republican establishment loser, comes out with a report after the fact, after the Russian witch hunt and everything that's been going on, with virtually no convictions except for Kevin Kleinsmith for perjury with regard to an affidavit, who was then pled out with a slap on the wrist. The DC bar took virtually no action because it favors these leftists and anti-Trump people and anti-conservatives. And people are extolling the virtues of John Durham. What a bad joke. The guy's done virtually nothing. His using of tens of millions of dollars to prepare a report of what we already knew about doesn't mean squat, because nothing's going to happen. Now the Republicans are going to hold hearings, their usual dog and pony shows. Hey, let's have a hearing. Let's go to a party. Why don't you bring alcohol and marijuana? You can really party it up, because you Republicans do little to nothing as well. And that's why the American people must rise up ourselves. We must try Biden ourselves. We must try Hillary Clinton ourselves. We must bring about justice ourselves. And until we get rid of the scourge of the corruption of our government, all three branches, not just the executive branch with Biden or whoever's in power, not just the legislative branch, but in particular the judicial branch, which are a bunch, at least in terms of Washington, D.C., on the federal bench, a bunch of political hacks, both Democrat and Republican appointed. Even Trump's own judges have thrown him under the bus. And I hope that as he's running for president, he doesn't continue to extol the virtues of the judges he put on the bench. Some of them are good, very few, I might add. The one who just enjoined the immigration policy may be pretty good in terms of what's been going on at the border this week in Florida. But the rest of them down there, I don't know. I've had difficult times dealing with them on behalf of my clients. They are part of the establishment. They were put there through political campaign contributions and other forms of legalized bribery, particularly in Washington, D.C. and in New York. And this is the lesson for the American people. John Durham, what he wrote isn't worth the paper it's written on, because without the enforcement of the rule of law, it means nothing. Stick it on your shelf, put it in history books, but the corruption continues in all three branches of government. And then the destruction of Judeo-Christian values with the young people in this country. Another mass shooting today from an 18-year-old, teaching kids no values at all, teaching them that they can do whatever they want, teaching them that it's okay to be homosexual, transgender, lesbian, and push it on other people. They can be what they want to be, but unfortunately it's being pushed on them. It's cool to be homosexual. It's cool to be lesbian. It's cool to be transgender. Well, it's not cool. It's sad. And for those people who are, our heart goes out to them. It is not the word of God. It is not how God wanted his flock to be raised. But if you are, they deserve respect. But just don't push it on other people. Don't put it in our face. Frankly, I don't want to see it. Go ahead, do what you want, but don't push it on our children. So that's my message for today. John Durham, no Bull Durham, that's for sure. A lamb Durham, that's what he is. A placebo of someone that was put in place so our corrupt government could say, oh, it's doing something. Well, it did little to nothing. And let that be a lesson. Fox News is extolling the virtues of John Durham. Others as well, even CNN gave it praise. Jake Tapper, okay. Why are they so happy at CNN? Because John Durham did nothing. And this will continue on. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Get my book, It Takes a Counter-Revolution, Wake Up America, and get to work. It's time that we save this country. At times that we bring about the rule of law. It's time that we put our foot down and say no more, no mas, or in French, like in the revolution, pas de plus, no more. That's it, done. We're finished. You're cooked. In the name of the Father and the Son, we will prevail. But the American people must have courage before it's too late. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We need more lawyers. We need more paralegals. We need more office space. We need to do what needs to be done, what Congress won't do, and what our corrupt legal system won't either. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.